Once upon a time, there was me. Picture me in The Sims 4 building and working on a project called Let's Love on Glimmerbrook, where I basically wanted to rebuild the lots that ship out the box with this pack because they're really just not good. Anyways, hi, my name's Clayton. Welcome to Sticky Sims, where I love to build and play The Sims. I hope you're doing well today. So, as seen regularly on my channel, we have a speed build here today. However, I was very surprised, y'all, at how long this video ended up being. I take all of the footage, right, and then I speed it up, and then I go through and I clip out as much like dead space as I can. And then, delete all the gaps and such, and I look at it and I'm like, oh my god, this is almost an hour. So, if you're into yapping, we're gonna try our best to, make it through this video. Nah, I'm playing. We're gonna make it. Maybe grab a snack or a cup of tea, something cozy, because we're gonna be here for a while. So Glimmerbrook Watch is this lot that's right here. It's like right here on the little bend of the river, if you will. At the end of the stream is an actual portal to the actual like magic realm that comes with this world. It's kind of a secret world, if you will. I previously did a like home on this lot. I did a little stop motion. It's my first stop motion if y'all want to go check it out. I didn't talk through that one, but it's also pretty quick. Like I said, it was my first time doing a stop motion, so I was not expecting the amount of time that went into it to come up with such a quick, short video. Anyways, right, so let me reel myself back in. Glimmerbrook Watch is right here on the river, so I felt that it was a pretty place to live, yeah, one, but two, I felt that it would also be a really good spot for a community lot. In the world of Glimmerbrook, it's 4 residential lots and then a bar. And the bar is a part of, the lore and the story of the town, but there wasn't an actual, community lot, so a park or anything. Before I get too far, I guess there's 2 things that I want to start with saying about this build just overall. The first is that it probably could have went on a larger lot, if I'm not gonna lie. This is a 30 by 20 lot, and it probably very easily could have went onto a 50 by 50 lot, but I wanted it in this location. That was really important to me, and Glimmerbrook really doesn't have a much bigger lot than this. There's a 30 by 40 or a 40 by 30, but I built a mansion there. So that's the first thing. The second thing that I want to say about this lot is I went the route of, I guess my inspiration was like a Swiss Army knife. If you're not familiar with Swiss Army knives, it's basically a tool, a little knife, and it has a multitude of things that it can do, like a screw, a knife, clippers. It's like a multifaceted, multi-purpose tool. I wanted to do that as a community lot. So there's a lot of shit on this lot, but I think it came out really cute. I made sure that everything's functional. It's a Swiss Army knife of community lots. So you can use this lot as a park, as a gym, as a national park. You can use it as a bar, as a library, as a museum, and I'm probably forgetting some, but you get what I'm going at. There's a little bit of everything on this lot, so you're able to do with it what you will. You could also, delete things if you so wish. While I'm talking about, overarching things, so the lot does come to about 146,000 simoleons. And I actually limited packs for this. I only used the Enchanted by Nature pack, the Realm of Magic pack, of course. I used Crystal Creations and Blooming Rooms. So aside from base game, which I think there's some holiday celebrations items in there, but they're considered base game, so I'm not counting that as a pack. I did really go to town, I would say, on each little corner of this lot because it's one of the few 360 lots here in Glimmerbrook. There's one that comes with like a starter home, and that one's a 360 lot as well. Not nearly as pretty as this one though. And I guess technically the bar lot is 360, but there's still so much going on one side that I really wouldn't consider it a fully easily playable 360 lot. Now, normally at this point in like a speed build, I would show you a reference picture and, explain how I took the reference picture and whatever rules I applied for myself. But I didn't use a reference this time. I've noticed that a lot of times the most fun I've had in building in The Sims 4 has been just going, like just sit down and go. I know that's super vague, but like maybe a good comparison would be kind of like writing or composing something. So like, yeah, the best way would probably be to, set an outline, create a plan, and then, execute from there, which is a normal, process, especially when I'm building. But there's also kind of a little bit more of like a freeing process where you just you go into it thinking, okay, I'm going to build a community lot of all community lots, and it's going to have everything on it. And I'm just going to start with the front door, and we're just going to go. Like we're gonna create the entrance, and then we'll just keep going from there. I guess like go where the tide, go where the wind takes us, if you will. Let's see. So structurally, we ended up with a 2-story building. Ultimately, the library becomes the second floor. The first floor becomes kind of the bar/lounge area with a like gym sectioned off. Put a little it's like a little garden, I guess like a greenhouse type structure in the back, which actually became more of like a bathroom / like I guess gemology space. I didn't necessarily have like a spellcasting spot necessarily. I did put a cauldron, like I guess so you can make potions right here on I call them the lips, the platform little ditty I got going in the backyard. At this point you can see I kind of tried to just include a bunch of cute little details and try to add little points of interest, I guess if you will, on different spots in the lot. And watching it back and, kind of looking at the finished product, if you've been following this little project, I've mentioned it before, the documentation, I hate to say documentation, but like the things that I found written about this pack mentioned that they were inspired by like Art Nouveau type architecture. And while I still will not consider myself nearly an expert, nor do I even think I fully know what I'm talking about when it comes to Art Nouveau architecture, I oddly feel like this ending product, considering I just sat down and didn't really have a plan to begin with, came out kind of Art Nouveau. So, Art Nouveau by accident. And honestly, I do have to attribute a lot of that probably to the Enchanted by Nature pack. Just very whimsically curvy, lots of little maximalist details, and then bringing, like bringing outside indoors, so lots of greenery and different things like that. Being that the Enchanted by Nature build by and then the Realm of Magic build by each kind of have very specific like niche styles to them. I will say they mesh well together. That is not something that I initially foresaw with the Enchanted by Nature pack when it was first being sold and promoted and everything. Now that I got to sit here and really build and play with it alongside Realm of Magic, I see how they do go together. So you can kind of pull your fairy and your spellcaster gameplay together. If you're into occults, I am, so I will never shy away from any type of occult build or occult play. I just think it's fun. little tidbit about me. I grew up in a house that was like very vehemently Christian, and I wasn't allowed to like read Harry Potter or be associated with any things. And, you know, it's because it's, you know, of the devil. So as an adult, I love all the things that are of the devil. But anyways, let me not get sidetracked. I'm not here to talk about the devil. It's just the Sims, and you know, fairies and spellcasters were always associated with, you know, bad things growing up. But it's not a bad thing when I'm playing with it in the future. Anyways, oh my god. As you can tell, as an adult, I've really kind of fallen into fantasy things. I love to read, especially like adventure and fantasy type novels. Let's see, where was I with this build again? I remember deciding to do 2 different like roof colors and 2 different like little, I guess these little like longer bump outs, if you will. I guess my thought was, you know, they don't have to be twins, they could just be like sisters. So I did them honestly really differently. I feel like it's those, you know, little things that are off kilter, but technically it is still 2 even symmetrical in a way, if that makes sense. The mashup, if you will. Now, I was honestly shocked that I was able to get some of these like plant roof decorations on such a steep roof piece, but it is still very, very picky, even with move objects on, about where you can place the roof like plants. One of the things that I remember like was, I guess, on my mind when I was building this, especially like around this point where I'm still kind of working on the shell and the overall layout of the lot, trying to like slightly think ahead. I know that I tend to fall into like more warmer and darker interiors, which can quickly get dull, especially if you don't have lots of different textures to kind of, you know, balance things out or add little extra bits of interest. So I tried to like, I guess, be mindful in a way when I was working on it at this point in the build. I was like, embrace bright color. So I tried to do, you know, like brighter metallics, a lot of white trimming, which, I mean, generally speaking, you know, Sims 4 builders, especially what you see online, you know, everybody loves a good white trim. I feel like in a way it also kind of gives you an illusion of like a gutter in a bit, which a lot of houses do have, and we don't have that in The Sims 4. But the other thing I'm thinking too is the like really bold white trim also just kind of reminds me of like a dollhouse, and I feel like that's kind of like a universal thing. We all just really love playing with our little dolls in our dollhouses. But let me stop before I hurt somebody's masculinity or something. Because I've read it on a lot of EA forums and different things, I try my best, like generally speaking, to not stack things on top of each other as best as I can, especially when I'm working on builds that I want to share. That could be like a community lot, for example. But I was like reminding myself that that rule doesn't really apply to roof pieces, because roof pieces are like meant to be multiple and like, I guess, mesh into one another. But yeah, like I was saying with on the EA forums that I was seeing, to try to avoid stacking too many things or creating, you know, quote unquote custom furniture out of multiple objects that are kind of all just like cluttered together, I guess. Just saying that like things like that especially can contribute to corruption in the game, which if you're like me and you like to do legacy gameplay more than anything, corruption on a save file can really just crush things and possibly even ruin it. But anyways, while I'm thinking about it, because we're working on a community lot, right? One of the lot venue types that I wasn't able to use was the one of the newer playground lot types, which is a super cool idea. You know, like a playground is a real type of, you know, venue that people would go to, right? So it made me realize how like lacking we are in this game with playground equipment. Now the Adventure Awaits pack and Growing Together and a few other ones, I'm trying to think, like Seasons adds a few playground and like childhood outdoor play equipment type things. Yeah, they add those to the game. But while I'm thinking about it, we really don't have that many, especially in the base game. So like I recently did a base game playground build in Newcrest, and the playground venue type requires 4. It requires 4 pieces of playground equipment, and there was literally only 2 types of playground equipment available for base game, and it's the monkey bars and the like pirate ship, like the jungle gym. So I literally just had to do 2 jungle gyms and 2 monkey bars in the playground, but I don't know, it felt weird to me. Like, I felt like at least swings should have been something that maybe should have been added to the base game, but that said, you know, a lot of people also say that seasons should have been just a base game, like, thing. Like, I guess an expansion upon base game, but I mean, there's a bunch of things with the seasons pack now that I'm thinking about it that are very much worth, you know, being part of like a downloadable content, like expansion on the game. But like nowadays, with the way that they release an expansion pack and they also add certain things to the base game along with it, like the biggest one I can think of is they gave us the Life and Death expansion pack, and right before they gave us ghosts in the game. Like you could actually just create a ghost in CAS. But anyways, I want swings is what I'm trying to say. I want base game swings. Anywho. I ended up using the Enchanted by Nature swings that you can see here, mostly because just the item itself is gorgeous. Hello, it's already like decorated. It's so cute. Anyways, I was, if I remember correctly, a little bit all over the place with this lot. It was a multiple day affair, if you will. Like, I guess one of the things I'm learning about myself, I'm definitely, you know, like committed in a way to my builds and my YouTube channel, but sometimes my attention span isn't always there. So like, for example, I guess this build is a good example of it. Like, as I'm working on it and I'm collecting footage before I start working on the speed build, I just ended up realizing it was a lot of like quick little like 20, maybe 30-minute sessions of sitting down working on it, which is like much less, about half what I normally do. Like normally one sitting to sit down and record, like for a speed build, for example, one recording is usually probably between like an hour and a half. Now, I might sit down and continue building for longer than an hour and a half, but I try to keep the footage without exceeding like 90 minutes or so. It's just easier on me, you know, like bites. But like I said, I break it into bites, but then for some reason I realized Clayton couldn't sit down and work on this build for longer than 20 minutes because I had like 13 freaking clips to edit in. Now, the other thing I'm realizing is some of them were probably longer than I realized, because like I said at the beginning of this video, I was shocked that after I was done clipping through everything and speeding everything up, that it was still almost an hour. I guess that just, you know, says to me just going with the wind, and I just kept decorating, and here we are. You know, it's funny now that I'm thinking about it too, is as much as I fit on this lot and as much as I included in this like design, there isn't like truly a kitchen. I did put the like outdoor grill over by a flagpole, I believe, on the opposite side of the build. But like inside there isn't any like actual kitchen with like counters and a fridge. So maybe it is fitting, because ultimately I did upload this lot as a park, so a park wouldn't have a kitchen, right? Even though this park has like a full-on, fully decorated structure with a gym, a library, a bar, and museum pieces in it. I guess technically there isn't like an actual museum spot. Just one of the I guess the requirements for a museum would be to have paintings and different wall decor. And because I just went to town decorating, it was very easy to just accidentally, I guess, meet the requirements for a museum. Oh yeah, I did what I mentioned too when I was doing the landscaping. I did use the, I think it was like the holiday event. We got those pre-lit starter hedges. I saw somebody, it was like Mo, I think it was, did my shell challenge back over the summer of 25. And they did that where you size one down in between, so it kind of creates this like caterpillar like type pattern or whatever. But I just really liked it and I thought it came out cute. Another little trick, I guess, to make your landscaping a little bit more interesting if you wanted to, or to try to change something up. That's ultimately why I did it. I just wanted to change it up. Which, speaking of changing it up, I tried to do something, I guess, interesting in a way on the top of this, like mansard roof kind of number. I did little triangles with the fencing, but then I wanted a skylight. I felt like a skylight would be appropriate, especially since I did like a library on the second floor. I guess to kind of like reinforce the, purpose of the skylight, I also ended up putting the stairway right pretty much underneath it. And then Clayton, of course, gets distracted, and now we're working on the backyard with the little greenhouse ditty. I guess at this point I was still trying to work out exactly how the Sims are going to navigate the lot. It's still like we're like in the middle-ish point of the build, like whole process, if you will. When I first started, I did have like a little mental list of things that I wanted to include, and the greenhouse was one of them. The other thing that I included on the list, like way when I first originally started thinking about this community lot, was a pool. And then for some reason, I just like forgot about the pool. It wasn't until more towards the end that I was able to include a pool. So and let me add that to the list of things that this could be used for. It could also be used as a pool type lot if you wanted to. Something else I was also playing around with is the Enchanted by Nature gave us a like glass pane type wallpaper, and it's really busy, and it's really like shiny and reflective. So I found that I like to use it best as like little accent points or every other. So I like break it up with just the regular like clear pane floor to ceiling type window wall, if you will. At this point, I'm also realizing that I didn't include, or I didn't really like plan out where I was going to put a bathroom. So of course I can always just add in the little Shrek outhouse looking bathroom, which I think I did end up using that. But I actually ended up putting in a little bathroom in the little greenhouse tucked away in the back. So here we go. So adding in the stairwell, clearing up a little spot there so the light can shine all the way down. I made the stairwell closed in with glass, so I figured it would be really pretty if you could still see in there and get into the stairwell or get in and out, but it would keep the sound out. So the library on the second floor could kind of keep a more quiet, right atmosphere. Now I did do a like little skylight bump out type piece on the side, and that technically would allow sound upstairs, but realism was not what we're going for here. So we were going for mystical, magical, whimsical, fantasy, not real. So unreal tubular type Sims, I got these little I did these little octagonal type I guess like a pit, if you will, platform, pedestal type things. Ultimately, with all of the different little details that I added on the lot, I could have probably made those into little like planters, but I felt like it bumping out like that kind of made sense with the big rounded window that I put right behind it. I really love those rounded windows. I would also just want to shout them out because they do have a few swatches where it's just like there's no pattern on the window, like it's just plain and clear, and then I think it has like a brown like color swatch to it or something, so you can use it in a bunch of different other types of builds. So let me try to speak of the positives that I can of the Realm of Magic pack. A lot of the things are very specific and niche to like the style, but they do have a few swatches and items in there that you can use perfectly with other types of packs and other, mashups, if you will. Now let's see. So this little like roof piece that I did right here, and then I added in the little the half walls, and I added glass around it too. To be honest with you, my thought was that you like bugs and such would be able to get around that, like how it's kind of open with it being a half wall. So I was thinking, oh, this would be a perfect little spot to have like a beekeeper, you know, like beehives, like a little bee farm. But this is a limited pack build, Clayton. So we didn't use seasons, so I didn't have bees. So I still kind of liked the little bump out and the way that it looked, so I did end up leaving it in, I think. Did I leave it in? Oh god, I can't remember if I left it in. Either way, I did end up putting the outhouse over there and put like a tree, because I didn't want to like completely wrap the whole lot with fencing. I just wanted certain areas to have like fenced in type portions, if you will. I forgot to mention also, I did include the apothecary table for selling, so I figured if you're, you know, doing the naturopath, or you want to do the apothecary career, you could come and sell your wares here, you know, at the Glimmerbrook Swiss Army knife of community lots. The ultimate Glimmerbrook community lot. Let's see. I think, yeah, I was in what is it? The community lot mode, trying to think of all the different pieces and parts that I definitely needed to include to make all the requirements met for different ones. But I also like tried to think of items as you would in a realistic setting, which I know I was just talking about how it's not realistic, but like if you're thinking it's a park, right, you're gonna have park benches, you're gonna have a spot to sit, like dining table type area, and then you're gonna of course have like outdoor trash cans. So I made sure to include those as well. Some gated areas for like playground equipment, you know, gotta keep the kiddos from running out in the street and such, but also, you know, to make it easier on parents. Anyways, because of the approach that I took when I was, I guess, putting together this shell, it left my second floor with a very, very awkward, like floor plan layout, if you will. So I did have to like, I guess, try it a bunch of different ways to see how I wanted to line everything up. And ultimately, I guess I imagined it would have a couple little spots for like quiet conversation. If it's a library, it of course needs to have multiple desks. But then I was also thinking, you know, there would be a librarian, you know, some type of like attendant up there. So one of the desks I did kind of set up more as like a, you know, associates, like the employees spot to hang out. Just, you know, little small details, like an actually used desk with the chair that's, you know, not pushed in, if that makes sense. Like a pulled out chair, if you will. I'm trying to remember, I think I did, because, you know, I did the glass see-through, like, stairway room. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I did put in some plants underneath, because you can see underneath the stairs now. And that'd be a cute little touch, just to add some, you know, greenery. Let's see, so I know I added a bar. Okay, then we added, oh yeah, we added a little section out here. So I think, yeah, at this point, I was like, okay, I need to fit a pool in somewhere. Where am I gonna fit a pool in? And this is really the only spot for it. My, like, gut instinct when I'm thinking of a pool for, like, a community is to do, like, a big old, like Olympic size, like L-shaped pool, but we really just didn't have the room for it. I did manage to keep the L shape, but I basically like fenced in half of the pool. So I guess, you know, ultimately the pool is very cozy, right? It's quaint. It's you know, let me be honest with myself. It's a little cramped. It's a little close, y'all, but in fairness, you know, Glimmerbrook isn't exactly like a swimming type world, if you will. I know we don't technically have seasons because we're not using the seasons pack, but while I'm sitting here yapping and telling you about it, I guess the cat out of the bag, the pool wasn't supposed to be an afterthought, even though it kind of became one. So, anywho. Similar to the way that I did the landscaping with those starter hedges, how I made like one bigger and smaller, I did the same thing with this hedge fencing here. As I'm looking at it as well, it also reminds me, before we had a Castle Estate pack, I just remember Sims 4 builders would use the half walls, and you would use like 2 different heights on the half walls to kind of create that illusion of like a, you know, a castle wall type situation. You got these cute like cedar almost looking wood like fencing pieces. There's like one that's like broken down, and there's one that's put together. I find myself thinking of that now. I did this base game build with them a little while back where I put it on the other side of the like flowered hedge piece, and I just really liked the way that it looked. So now every time I use that little privacy hedge, I'm like, let me go into the live edit objects and grab the cute little wood fence pieces. I feel like it's a cute little extra decorative piece that just adds to it. You know, it's those little details that make it look lived in, make it cutesy, and makes it feel unique. But I will admit also, as a builder that likes to, you know, play test and make sure that my builds work well with gameplay, sometimes it's those little details that cause the most frustration. So, whew, 30 minutes, y'all. I've been yapping for 30 minutes. Might have to break this voiceover into 2 parts. And I am back again. Okay, so where were we? Okay, so we've added in the pool. We're doing a little, I guess kind of like park type decoration. So I added a little grill. We're gonna add in a bike. I already did that. A little place to park your bike, and you know, park benches galore. I don't know if I've said it yet, but I like to do this thing where I put I probably did. There's like this live edit wooden fence that I usually like to put up against the privacy hedge with the flowers. There's also like broken down pieces, but anywho, I was playing around with all of the different little fencing pieces to kind of create little like statement, I guess, or I don't want to say statement, but little like, I guess artistic, decorative little details to kind of break up the monotony of the fencing. Because this is in Glimmerbrook, I did feel the need to kind of add a like mystical, magical type spot. I've said this before, I really wish that I had a bigger lot here. Maybe even if it was just like a square, like if it would have just been like 30 by 30 or something, but there really isn't a spot to do like duels. If you played the Realm of Magic pack, there is a magic realm to go to, and there's like plenty of space in that magic realm for dueling. And I was kind of hoping that I was going to be able to fit that here, but I didn't really have that. I was definitely more focused on trying to check off multiple boxes for like all the different types of community lots. I didn't want it to just be like specific to, you know, like spellcasters. As long as this took me, you know, I am really starting to think that I think I'm going to end up doing a little, like a little bonus build with this project, and probably take on that magic realm, like the magic headquarters. Try rebuilding that maybe. I need to like do a little bit of I don't want to say research, but like a little searching into it, just to make sure that there's nothing in there that if I accidentally delete it or like bulldoze the lot, it will mess up the gameplay. The reason I think of this is I watched another creator, the Simified. He did a rebuild of like the Grimturn secret lot that came with the life and death pack, and I learned from his video that if you deleted the little like scrying pool fountain things or whatever, the ones that are like specific for the gameplay are the ones that load in. So if you delete it, you've basically ruined it. So like I'm trying to like be mindful of that kind of thing whenever I go do the Magic Realm. I think playing around with this pack and playing around in these lots and these worlds and kind of like keeping the Art Nouveau idea in the back of my mind, I think I have, I don't want to say I have like a strong handle, but I think I have a better understanding than I did like, you know, 2 months ago. So yeah, I think I'm going to add that to the list. I am probably not going to do 2 out there. Like I said, I think I'll just treat this as like a little like bonus additional add-in to the project. I've said it before in other videos, I'll just reiterate now. With the Let's Love on Glimmerbrook project, my goal was to give you 2 different lots from me, or 2 different builds, I should say, for each of the lots that came with this pack. Now, I guess my one exception is going to be the Secret World, but anywho, I found myself playing around with a lot of different details and a lot of different roof pieces, just to try to add. I've been saying this a lot lately, but like a lot of little bits of interest to kind of catch your eye. Now, that is a slippery slope, especially when it comes to like freezes and like exterior trims in the game. You start playing with rooms and you start deleting certain things, and suddenly you have freezes inside. It causes weird like display glitches. So there is, I guess what I'm trying to say is there is a power in being symmetrical and making things the same, because it's just easier on like the game functionality. Anyways, I may have mentioned it, but I did add an apothecary like table, or I guess a merchandising stall, if you will, here. I haven't really played with that much. We got the apothecary skill and the I think, is it a career? I think it's a naturopath is the career. Anyways, we got it with Enchanted by Nature. Like the whole concept of spellcasters and wizards and such, I feel like it kind of, there's different activities that span multiple different like expansions that all could kind of play into the same type of like gameplay, if you will. So of course, like the Realm of Magic pack, I did also incorporate the Crystal Creations pack into this. There's actually a lot of crossover with the Crystal Creations stuff pack and the Realm of Magic game pack. I don't think that it necessarily crosses over as much, but whenever I think of spellcasters and like magics, witchcraft, that kind of thing, I usually think of candles as well. So one of the things that I like to do with spellcaster houses is add the, I think it's for the seasons pack, I want to say. We got like a candle making table, which is super cute. It kind of just runs more along the fabricator thing. Part of me wishes that there was a way to create candles kind of like the way that they do at like a Renaissance fair. I don't know if you've seen people do that, where they use like hot wax with the cooler water to kind of create these little masterpieces out of the out of the wax to create candles. Anyways, what am I talking about? Let me reel myself back in. Hello. Yeah, okay. So we're adding in different little wall pieces. Just try to break up things as much as I can, make it a just, you know, something to take in, a feast for your eyes, if you will. At this point, I was looking at this little like playground play area that I created, and then I immediately thought, you know, where is mom gonna sit so she can watch her kids? You know what I'm saying? And maybe that's just because I'm from the United States. You know what I mean? Like if there's kids in the playground, there is a parent close by and watching. So let's see. Okay, yep. Adding in these little, I guess they're like wall lighting pieces. Like they light up, but they also kind of look like little vines. It's from the Enchanted by Nature pack. I guess I'll just say it again. The Enchanted by Nature pack and Realm of Magic do very much, they jive. There's a lot of pieces that click together, and there's a lot of stylistic things that just kind of mesh and fall in all together. Or what's the word? Cohesive. That's the word. They have a cohesion to them. Anyways, I added in that little, I think it's like a pothos vine plant that hangs down. I used the Blooming Rooms pack with this. I just feel like there's something about just a lot of like nature and plants inside that kind of gives me a wizardy feel. That and Blooming Rooms kit is probably one of my favorite DLCs as well. Just being a builder in general, you know what I mean? It doesn't really add to gameplay or anything on your like Create a Sim side, but if you like plants everywhere, you're gonna love the Blooming Room pack. But let me shut up. I'm not here to toot the horn of all the DLCs with the Sims. I guess I get excited about all the little pieces that we've added to the game. Being a creator really is just, it's fun and it's fulfilling, y'all. So, all right, I think we got a pretty strong handle on, or almost pretty much finished, I should say, with the outside. So now we're gonna move our way inside. I may have mentioned it before, we kind of set the library in more of the quiet area upstairs. If I had any regrets about what I did upstairs is I didn't plan for a bathroom, which might have been a good idea, like throw a little half bath, a toilet somewhere on the second floor, but it's all good, it's all good. Used these two roof pieces when I was creating the like balcony side, and for some reason those little like black lines just wouldn't go anywhere. It has something to do with the way that I've like set up the room, and then there's like fencing pieces in there, but we made it work. We made it work. You know, if you can't fix it, you just hide it. Now I'm trying to think back. I want to say library lots require you to have like 2 desks, 2 computers, of course a number of like bookcases. What else do we need? I think we need like a place to sit, a toilet, sink, bathroom, those kinds of things. I mean, I only really put like 2 toilets on this lot, And then, having a toilet and a sink that checks boxes on almost every single community lot that I was going for, I guess, with this. Now I'm sitting here and I'm like, I'm sitting here rambling and yapping like I normally do, but I guess I'm being like self-conscious in a way, because I broke this voiceover into 2 parts, and if I'm going to be completely honest with you, it's actually technically 2 different days, so I didn't really go back and re-listen to the whole 30 minutes of me just yapping. So if I repeat something, sorry. Now that I'm thinking about it, we've been here for about 40 minutes. We are wrapping up. I shouldn't say wrapping up. There's probably still a good 20 minutes left of me actually building on this. I think I'm gonna actually end this voiceover a little early than I normally do. Just because, like I said, I made that choice to split it up into 2, and now I'm just kind of feeling like I'm gonna end up repeating myself, and it's gonna just be an aggravating video to watch back. So, if you've watched this far, thank you so much. I really hope you're subscribed to my channel. I hope you enjoy all the content that we're doing. I made a little rant about this, and I don't want to go too far into it, but I did rant a little bit on my Blue Sky about my feelings and my intentions with this whole EA buyout number that's going on. I guess in a nutshell, I'll just say I don't really like it, but what brought me here and what kind of brought us all here is our love for The Sims. So as of now, my intention is to just continue making my Sims content. I'm not really pushing to buy anything else from EA at the current point, but I already spent money, so we're gonna have fun with the money that we spent. But anyways, y'all, thanks so much for watching. I hope y'all have a beautiful week. Love you. Bye.